What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everyone? I'm gonna let y'all know right now. Y'all gonna have to hear the fan in the background, okay? It's hot, okay? My AC ain't working. I gotta figure that out. It's kind of making me upset, but I'll be all right. But I hope y'all doing well though on this Wednesday evening. I'm just glad to be back with yet another read through of Awaken to the Healer Within, another live of this book, because when I tell you over the past month and a half, I've been trying to apply some of the information that's in this book into my own life. And like I said, life is scary, but at the same time, it's exciting, and I'm glad to experience both, okay? At first, it was just scary, but now it's scary and exciting. So it's like, wow, I feel good. And the fact that I can share this information with others who want to receive something that might help broaden their perspective so that they can be in control of their own life. And when I say control of your own life, because it's Pride Month, y'all. And I mean, I am a queer man, so I'm going to speak about these things. No shade. We have been told for a very long time, and not just queer people, but just human beings in general, that we are powerless, that we don't have any power, and that if so, the power only comes from outside of us, which is why people will spend millions, billions, trillions, do all type of things just to feel loved, just to feel important, just to feel better, okay? And that's what you call selling your soul. When you give your happiness away. Do you know what I'm saying? And when I mean give your happiness away, I mean give your happiness away in exchange for something that is not equivalent to the price of your happiness. Do you know what I'm saying? And yes, we get temporary happiness, but I'm talking about that personal, long-lasting, everlasting peace and joy that is attainable. But in order to really understand that, you have to do it for yourself. And I understand, and it's true what they say, seeing is believing. So I encourage y'all, if you guys are mentally, emotionally, and spiritually aware enough, intelligent enough, and are willing to face your fears, I encourage y'all to apply some of the information that's in this book into your life. Because you came in this world by yourself, you're going to leave by yourself. If it's one person that you need to know above all other things, is you. God, source, universe first, because we are all connected to some sort of divine being despite the names. I can see the bigger picture. I know we're all one and the same. First that, and then secondly you. And then once you do that, everything else will fall into place. All right? But before we get into part 5 of Awaken to the Healer Within, boom. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, so we're going to have, I think it's 5 chapters we're going to read, or subsections of part 5. It shouldn't be that long. Let me see. What's up, Queen Spicy? Queen Spicy. Queen Spicy. What's going on? All right, y'all. Let's get into it, shall we? What's up? Style by Stevie in the house. What's going on? I hope that you all are well. I appreciate y'all being here. You okay? Angels, okay, by Anne Marie. Not Tina Marie. Not A. Marie. But Anne Marie, okay? We may have to be brought to our knees before we will reach out for help. And that is exactly what happened to me. My experience with multiple sclerosis taught me about love. Sometimes the hardest lessons bring the greatest gifts. I had to separate from the love within. I'm sorry, I had separated, excuse me. Let me give Andrew Caldwell his real quick. Hold on, it is Pride Month. That's probably what it is. Hold on, Andrew, what you say?
That vibe would never leave you, nor forsake you.
So that vibe, so that
You would that.
Ooh, wow. Okay, Andrew. All right. Doing wonderful. Had a power outage down here. Oh, Lord. Style by Stevie. We gonna send love and energy of expedition your way, because I'm over here hot. And I don't know if you live down south. So if you live down south, Lord, I'm praying right now. Let me have Andrew speak in tongues for you real quick. Hold on. You might want to bless it. You might want to rebuke it, but I'm sending it to you, so it's covered in love.
Shaya. Oh, Mashanya. Oh, I feel a Shakani up in here. Oh, I feel a Shakani up in here.
Okay. Amen. All right. And Aries, I hope you slept good. I hope you did. I had separated from the love within. I had forgotten who I was. I was lost and lonely. Now, as I reached out to God and asked for help, I began to feel the presence of the angels. As they entered my life, I felt a smile inside that I had not felt in a long time. I remember playing with the angels as a child, but the reality of the world around me took precedence over my invisible friends, and I was forced to grow up. When I invited the angels back into my life, I discovered they had never left my side. The angels are to God like the elves are to Santa Claus. They are everywhere, and they love to be kept busy. They wanted to help me and were just waiting for me to listen. Your head hurts still? Oh no, I'm sorry. Send love your way. Must daddy love your way. There is nothing more pathetic than a bored angel. Oh snap. The angels helped me to remember who I was and what I was capable of doing. They did all kinds of wonderful things for me. They would whisper in my ear and give me encouragement. Did you ever have a thought go through your mind that you knew didn't come from you? That's probably an angel speaking to you, encouraging you, loving you, sharing new insights. The angels orchestrate situations and events, those chance coincidences. After a while, you begin to recognize that the coincidences become too coincidental, all these coincidental not to be orchestrated by someone. I'm gonna read that again. After a while, you begin to recognize that the coincidences become too coincidental not to be orchestrated by someone. Imagine the fun the angels must have making sure your car doesn't start so you are 5 minutes late to a meeting and you just happen to meet an old friend walking through the door. A friend you haven't seen in years. And now you discover that you never really knew the person, but she has dreams and visions just like yours. Or you are caught in a traffic jam and you hear that little voice inside say, "Turn right here," and you find yourself facing the most incredible double rainbow you have ever seen in your life, reflected in a pond you had forgotten was there. Yes, for Pride Month. Yeah. Moments that remind you of the magnificence of the Creator. Moments that remind you of the vastness of the universe. Moments that remind you that all things in creation are important. All things in creation are important. Have you met the angels around you? They are always there. The angels are like the stars. Sometimes we don't see them because the clouds get in the way, but they are always there. Angels come in all shapes and sizes. Close your eyes and visualize what the angels around you might look like. Give yourself the freedom to accept whatever comes into your mind. talk to them and let them assist you on your journey. The more you acknowledge their presence, the more you will see. They will begin to plan and scheme special events in your life, like having you drive 30 miles with a flat tire just to remind you that you are protected at all times. You will be in a safe place at all times when you believe it. Now, I guess this is a poem entitled Invisible Friends. What about your friends? Hallelujah. Invisible friends, imaginary playmates, constant companions embracing me in the wings of love, watching, never judging, whispering sweetly in my ear, opening my eyes to see the beauty of God's creation and the perfection of my existence, comforting me with their sweet song of peace, reminding me of things forgotten and my divinity, waiting to be acknowledged, to have their deeds recognized and seen, to have their love received in every way, to fulfill their destiny. Okay, Destiny's Child. Okay, let me stop. A visit from my grandmother. Marie sat across the table sipping her tea. After a moment, she said, "Rich, I can remember it as if it happened yesterday. It was as real as you are, excuse me. I stood barefooted, looking out of the kitchen window. I remember that I was wearing black shorts and a white blouse. It was a beautiful, warm summer day, and my parents had gone shopping. It would be nice, I thought, to surprise them and make something for dinner. Spaghetti was one of my favorite dishes, and I began to assemble the ingredients. Just then, the doorbell rang. I was delighted to see that my grandmother had come to visit me. I had always been her favorite grandchild, you know what I'm saying? And we had always gotten along so well together. I gave her a big hug and a kiss. It had been so long since I had seen her, and we had so much to talk about, excuse me. She sat in Dad's chair at the kitchen table as I busied myself preparing the dinner. I recalled that she was wearing a dark blue dress with a pretty white pattern running through it. There was a matching blue hat, and I loved her white gloves and the beautiful brooch she wore around her neck. I can still smell the fragrance of her perfume. It was as though she had just come from Easter services. I remember every detail. I was excited. I had turned 16 and told grandmother about all the things that had happened since we had last been together. I had passed the driving test and now had my driver's license, and there were many places that I could go and things that I could do. 20 minutes had passed when grandmother informed me that she had to leave. I said, "Please stay. Mom and Dad will be home soon, and I know they would like to see you." "Really, I must go," she replied. I gave her another hug and a kiss and saw her to the door. "I'll see you again soon," she said, as she turned and walked out the door. I returned to the stove and began stirring the spaghetti sauce when a thought occurred to me. I stood there stunned as I realized that grandmother had died 3 years before. I ran to the door and into the driveway to see where she had gone, but there was no one there. Marie sat looking into her teacup, then again at me. "Rich, I want to say that I had a vision, but to me it was as real as you and I are now." I could see the fly buzzing around the kitchen, the spaghetti sauce splattering as I worked with it, excuse me. I could count every thread in grandmother's dress and feel her warmth as I embraced her. Frequently during my workshops, I would turn to my audience and ask, let me see, a show of hands. How many of you have had an experience that we call psychic? It might be as subtle as knowing who is on the other phone, who's on the phone before you pick it up, or who is on the other side of the door before you open it. It may be a loved one who has crossed over and has returned to visit you, or an angel that has appeared to bring you a message. 80 to 90% raised their hands. Many have had such experiences, but most chose not to talk of them because others may not understand. I do not believe that Marie's experience was a vision. There are no unnatural or supernatural phenomena, only very large gaps in our knowledge of what is natural. We should strive to fill those gaps of ignorance. I'm gonna have to remember that, baby. I'm gonna use that quote, baby, because some of these people during Pride Month is being ignorant. All right, next is My Story by Anne Marie. What's the last one? Hold on. Okay, we got this and one more. This is gonna be a pretty quick live. All right. My Story by Anne Marie. It was a mid-afternoon when I awoke. The house was still, and the only sound was the cold wind whistling through the pine trees outside my window. The chill that penetrated through me reminded me of the empty feeling in my heart. It was a cold January day in the year 1982. For 7 days, I had been in bed, unable to do much of anything for myself. Engulfed in hopelessness, I searched for an answer by going back over the past. For years, I had been aware that something was wrong. I was tired all the time and pushed myself incessantly. There wasn't enough time to be tired or sick. The elusive symptoms were hard to identify. A little dizziness, fleeting numbness, and constant fatigue were all symptoms that doctors couldn't explain. The report were always the same. You are in perfect health, they said. Rather than being labeled as a hypochondriac, I stopped complaining and accepted this as part of life. I was overwhelmed with the stress of the last few years. My father had cancer and died. My mother had conquered cancer. My son had undergone major surgery. My daughter had broken her arm and leg, and we had moved into a new home. I remember the first major attack, which occurred on a hot summer day. Numbness crept down the left side of my body until my whole side was totally affected. There were several medical tests, but no answers. The doctor said, "Go home and don't worry." Now I ask you, how does anyone in this situation go home and not worry? I knew something had to be wrong. The numbness started to recede. Then it came on the other side. There were more tests, and still no answers. A variety of symptoms came and went for several months. Then, at the end of a 4-day hospital stay, the doctor entered my room, to announce that I had multiple sclerosis. I was so happy I could have hugged him. For the first time in years, I had confirmation that I wasn't a hypochondriac. It wasn't all in my head. I really did have something organically wrong with me. I sat there with this big smile on my face, and with the innocence of a child, I said, "Okay, now that we know what this is, what do we do to get rid of it?" I'll never forget the look in his eyes. He didn't know how to tell me there was nothing he could do. Naturally, I didn't believe that, so I went looking for answers. After seeing several doctors, I finally understood their prognosis. that there is no known cause, no cure, and no hope for multiple sclerosis. The only advice I was given was to go home, keep doing what you're doing, live the best life you can, and call me so I can help you with the different symptoms as they come along. As I lay listening to the wind, I realized that I had family and friends who loved me, but I felt alone and defeated. The enemy, multiple sclerosis, appeared to be winning the war. My body was continuously degenerating. My right leg was totally dead to feeling and was atrophying. The calf half the size of my leg. My left leg was going numb. It was becoming increasingly difficult to walk and almost impossible to climb steps. My balance had been off from the beginning, and I had forgotten what stability was like. The right side of my head was numb, and it was creeping down into my face, at times affecting my tongue, and speech became difficult and slurred. The coordination of my hands and arms would come and go. There were bad days and better days, but I no longer had what I would call good days. It was a personal battle between myself and it, and there seemed to be no one who could truly help me fight this enemy. I called out to God. Is there no one out there who can help me? Must I stand alone, defenseless against this enemy? Are there no weapons for me to use? Is there no path of retreat? Dear God, I can't go on like this. This is no longer living, but merely existing. Please, Lord, I know that you know how to heal my body. Show me the way, and I'll share it with the world. I place my life in your hands, for I can no longer go on without hope. And in that moment of despair, I planned my self-deletion. Message of hope. I awoke the next morning to the ringing of the phone. Someone I had met a few weeks ago was calling to tell me she had been praying and received a message from the Lord to call and tell me that multiple sclerosis could be conquered. She didn't know how. She didn't have any specific answers, just that it was possible. My heart soared as I placed the phone back on its cradle. I would have danced if I could. I had just received the greatest gift of all, hope. I knew God would show me the way to restore my body by providing the tools to use in my war. I knew there could be many hard battles, but I would win the war. The cold wind blew through the pines outside my window as I snuggled in my warm bed. The despair in my heart melted into the mouth. Lord, what's going on? Andrew, girl, back up. The despair in my heart melted in the warmth of God's love as it flooded through my being. I was no longer alone in my struggle against this formidable enemy. Somehow, God would guide me, and I would follow as best I could. In the beginning, there was very little information to go on, only hope and faith. I began reading the one book I had on health, the Bible. I knew that if God had multiple sclerosis, I knew that if God said multiple sclerosis could be conquered, there must be something about health in the scriptures. I picked up the Bible and allowed it to fall open by itself. Wherever my eyes fell, there was a passage on health and healing. After a while, I realized that a blue sparkle would twinkle on the page beside a line of particular importance. I was amazed at the amount of information and beautiful guidance I was receiving. At the same time, I began to receive information from a variety of sources. It was as though the dam had opened and I was standing in the flood. People sent me articles of people known to have conquered multiple sclerosis. As I read about their success, I know I too had a chance. For if just one person had conquered multiple sclerosis, so could another. My quest for health. Within a short period of time, I realized that life, as I had known it, would be changed. With hope in my heart, I began looking at myself, my life, and all things around me from a new perspective. It was a new beginning. Each day was the first day of the rest of my life. Each day, I was laying the groundwork for my future. I wanted to create balance and harmony in all parts of my life, physical, emotional, and spiritual. With faith that God would guide me to the information and the people who could help me, I began my quest. My thirst for knowledge could not be quenched. Each answer would lead me to more questions. The more I discovered, the more I realized how much more I wanted to know. My search led me through medical journals and research from all over the world, books about multiple sclerosis, health, natural food, exercise, and stress reduction. I had been told that the body replaces itself every 7 years, except for the nerve cells. I set my goals for a 7-year plan. New research now shows that the body repairs itself every 11 months. I believed that if I raised my total level of health, the disease within my body would not progress. Or progress. I said progress. Would progress. Same thing. I would have been satisfied if I could just halt the progression of the disease, because then I would know that I was in control, rather than the problem being in control of me. To my delight, as my health improved, the process of degeneration stopped and the symptoms began to disappear. In the beginning, there were many ups and downs, but I did not lose heart, for somewhere deep down inside of me, I knew it would be okay if I lost a few battles. I was in this for the long haul, and I planned to win the war. Each time I struggled in a battle, I would survey where I was, make necessary provisions in my battle plan, and launch the best offensive that I knew at the time. As time went on, I became wiser and more aware of what I needed to do to stay in balance and harmony. My battles became easier and I became more victorious. Yet, I have discovered that the body truly is capable of totally healing itself. So Queen Amber, what's going on? What's going on? So here's my message to you. There is hope. Hope for a better way of life. I share with you my story and the knowledge of what has worked for myself and others. You and you alone are responsible for your health and the course of your life. Every day you make decisions that affect every aspect of your life. If it is your desire to increase your health, happiness and longevity, I offer you this information to help you conquer your challenges. Stop the progression of degeneration and change your life. See, still a little sick over there? Well, this live is for you, baby, because you can heal yourself right now, okay? the body is capable of healing itself. All right, Shania. My body has been symptom free for several years. It is my belief that God created us in such a magnificent way that if we provide a positive internal and external environment, our body is capable of healing itself. A marvelous blueprint of perfection lies within our cells. We constantly see proof of this. For example, if you cut your finger and you wash it, put antiseptic on it, and apply a Band-Aid, in a few days it will be healed. However, if you keep getting it dirty and cracking it open, it could take weeks to heal. The only difference in the ability to heal is the environment provided. Oh, wow. It is my belief that God created us in such a magnificent way that if we provide a positive internal and external environment, our body is capable of healing itself. Yes. The human body is constantly changing. It is composed of 100 trillion cells, of which approximately 1 billion replace themselves each hour. As long as we remain in harmony and balance physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, we provide a regenerative environment. Imagine, if you will, okay, if every person on the earth were in a place of peace, harmony, love, and joy within themselves and with others, what kind of world would we have? If every cell in your body were in peace, harmony, love, and joy within itself and with every other cell, what kind of body would you have? When we were created, we were given one law, the law of free will choice. We make choices every minute of every day. As situations arise, we choose to do something or we choose to do nothing. Either way, we make a choice. In every situation, there are usually 3 choices. Are the aspects of your life bringing you happiness and joy? Are you making choices in joy, new directions and pathways as you make choices in joy? I thought he was asking the questions, okay? As you make choices in joy, new directions and pathways become visible that you never saw before. Imagine that you have just received your driver's license and you have been offered a brand new automobile that you can drive anywhere you choose. There is only one stipulation, though. This will be the only automobile that you will ever be able to own. Would you choose to care for this vehicle? Would you give it a little TLC, tender love and care? Or would you run it until it I'm about to go off. Or would you run it until it started to give you problems and then began to think about its care and maintenance? Would you follow your inner guidance, or would you be swayed by what your family, neighbors, or society directed you to do? Would you aspire to maintain high quality service indefinitely, or would you just sit back and let whatever happens? You are living in a vehicle known as your body. If you are tired of the condition of your vehicle or the road you are on, you can choose to change. Remember, the choice is always yours. If every person on the earth were in a place of peace, harmony, love, and joy within themselves and with others, what kind of world would we have? If every cell in your body were in peace, harmony, love, and joy within themselves and with every other cell, what kind of body would you have? My search continues. Matter of fact, we're going to take a quick break because, baby, I need to drink some water. I'm getting cotton mouth a little bit. All right. All right, y'all. We're gonna be right back. Give us one moment, and I thank you. All right. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Okay. Hallelujah. All right, y'all. We back. We is back. Yeah. There we go. Ooh, I needed that. All right, let's continue, y'all, because we almost done. We got this, and then one more little subsection, and then we're done. Okay? Because I'm getting hot. And not in a good way, all right? My search continues. It has been a beautiful experience to watch my body's transformation. For years, I studied with many perspectives, from many perspectives, excuse me. I studied health from many perspectives. I returned to college and received a Master of Science degree in nutrition, then furthered my education by gathering additional training and knowledge in biochemistry, vibratory essences, homeopathy, herbology. Ooh, I love a good herbology. Color therapy, Reiki, craniosacral therapy, polarity therapy. Girl, these words. Orthobionomy, kinesiology, and all the studies of healing. Please don't ask me to read that again. Please don't. After years of searching, I was still looking for the elusive answers to the simplicity of healing. I was able to stabilize my health with only a few minor symptoms remaining, but staying on a strict program I had developed that consisted of a whole, natural diet and hundreds of dollars worth of food supplements and herbs each month. The success of my wellness program was obvious, and many came to ask what I had done. Looking for a simple answer or a magic pill, one person wanted me to give her the name of my doctor so that she could go to him and get the same help I had gotten. She had a difficult time accepting where my help had come from. Most wanted someone to take responsibility for their health and remove the burden from them. They were not aware that they had created their disease and only they could remove it. Each day, I meditate and follow my inner guidance. As my body was healing, I continued to look for more answers. I believed that a person should be able to maintain and build their health in an atmosphere of joy and without jeopardizing the health of their pocketbook, okay? I had a vision of being with someone during a therapy session when Jesus walked into the room, placed his hands on mine, and said, "Remember, only love heals." Later, he stood beside me, placed his hands next to mine, and said, It is this simple, it is this simple, okay? My friend felt his hands upon her and received a healing. During my meditations, he said, "Remember, all knowledge through all time exists within the soul. You must go within and remember. Remember, all knowledge through all time exists within the soul. You must go within and remember." I was determined to know the simple answers of healing with love, to continue to enhance my health, and to assist others. And now we move on to the last subsection of this read through part 5, which is entitled My Philosophy of Wellness, again by Anne Marie. After weeks of meditation, with the intent of bringing forth the simplicity of healing, the following philosophy of wellness emerged. There is one disease, low-level wellness. Everyone is on a continuum of wellness. At the midpoint is the absence of symptoms. As you move up the continuum, you raise your level of wellness. As you move down the continuum, you lower your level of wellness. As you lower your level of wellness, symptoms occur that relate to the toxic emotions, toxic chemicals, and genetic weaknesses within your systems. What determines where you are on this continuum is the flow and amplitude of your life force energy. As you raise your level of wellness by increasing the flow and amplitude of your life force energy, you awaken the body's ability to heal itself. The key to healing is this: it is receiving and retaining the vibrations of love. You can't make this up. Each individual cell in your body has a consciousness, and it is time to begin raising that consciousness. You alone are responsible for this task. Think of the earth as a being with trillions of human cells upon it. They have been separated from the love of the Creator through judgment and fear passed on through generation after generation. And now, it is time for each soul to return to its connection to the Creator. The same is true for each one of the cells in your body. As you open the mind, the memory within each cell opens to the concept that it too is part of the Creator. It automatically begins to fill itself with love. High level wellness, and they have like a cross symbol or whatever. So as far as high level wellness, it reads, the factor determining where you are on this continuum of wellness is the flow and amplitude of your life force energy. When you get to the midpoint of that cross is the absence of symptoms. Absence of symptoms does not mean high level wellness. It just means that you halfway there. And at the bottom here, where it says low level wellness, it says symptoms are the result of toxic emotions, toxic chemicals and genetic weaknesses. There is only one disease, and that is low level wellness. The simplicity of healing is that you can awaken the cells in your body to receive and retain the vibrations of love. The body's ability to heal itself is directly proportionate to the amount of love each cell is able to receive and retain. Life potential. The cells and systems of the body begin to degenerate as the distorted vibrations of fear begin to accumulate throughout the being. To protect themselves from distorted energies, the cells create walls which restrict the flow of life force energy. As the life force energy decreases, the cells begin to degenerate. If the life force energy is completely depleted, the cells die. When love comes their way, they are not open to receive. They have blocked the very love that can save their life. As the creator and overseer of your body, it is up to you to clear out the blockages of energy and to reawaken the consciousness of the cells to accept the pure vibrations of love that come their way. As life force energy increases, the cells are able to regenerate and rejuvenate themselves. By raising the resonance of love within our being high enough, the body can restore itself to its fullest potential and literally reverse the aging process. The key to healing is in receiving and retaining the vibrations of love. And y'all, that is it for part 5 of Awaken to the Healer Within. Baby, that was a fast chapter. 50 minutes, that was pretty good. I thank y'all for coming through for this random ass live. I know I didn't, baby, if you rocking on the BubzDaGawd flow, listen, there might be some times I might plan some things out, whether it's like a big conversation, I'll plan it weeks in advance. If it's just like a live, I might plan it like a week in advance as far as like reviewing a show or something or being on a schedule. But as far as these type of lives, baby, you're going to have to make sure you hit that notification bell, okay? And to click all, ALL, okay? So that when I go live, you will be notified. And if you ain't getting my notifications, I need you to hit the thumbs up button, because then YouTube will do its part to be like, oh, people actually like this content. Oh, let me send it to the people who are subscribed. Okay? It ain't just, it's us. We all got to do our part, okay? And guess what, y'all? It's my B-Day tomorrow. Yes, I will be turning 32 years young, okay? I am 32 years trapped in an 18-year-old's body. Okay, so I'm excited about that. I'm probably going to chill because as I'm starting to grow in age, I'm starting to really appreciate the simple things in life, and I'm still in my cocoon phase, so it's kind of like I'm choosing to detach from certain things right now to focus more so on myself, and I'm going to be doing that for a while because I feel like it's imperative, it's necessary, so that when my opportunities come my way that literally will catapult me in reference to my destiny into the forefront, I want to make sure that I'm strong enough to be able to handle myself. I ain't really pretty much worried about everybody outside of me. I'm trying to make sure I can handle myself and maintain myself, and most importantly, love myself. That's a never-ending journey, but I'm still learning the basis of it and strengthening my foundation. Okay? And shout out to Queen Spice. Say yes, make sure y'all like and comment, subscribe, okay? Notification bell. If you want to help put a few little gold coins inside me Lucky Charms cauldron, okay? Because you know leprechauns got that long rainbow road. And the pot full of gold. If you want to donate to the gold fund, you want to donate to the Lollipop Guild in this mug, you can by hitting the Cash App, BubzDaGawd. Any amount is appreciated. Thank you. Whatever you send, I appreciate it, okay? And I'm just grateful for the opportunity to, again, share information with people who want it. And I just hope that it blesses somebody. And I know it will. I know it will. So, but yes, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my night. I'm about to go take a shower because it's hot as hell. Okay, and try to enjoy the rest of my night with this damn heat. I'm so glad tomorrow is going to be in the low 70s and it's going to rain. Yes, please. I am a spring and an autumn type of person. I don't like the heat. I'd rather it be cool or cold. I have no problem with that. When it come down to the heat, and I'm a summer baby too, I don't understand it. I don't get it. But anyway, thank y'all for watching, and until next time, y'all, peace.